Hello friends, welcome to G-Centric. So this lecture we will see about the questions. Okay, so in the first question we have got find Z equivalent. Okay, so here is the Z equivalent, and this type of problem we have already seen it. That is, in the DC problem we have seen the infinite type of the circuit. So we have to find the Z equivalent, and now if you see this circuit, okay, there is a repetition of this block 9J and 5J and minus J. Okay, first is it is in series, then it is in shunt, series and shunt. So this goes on continuing till the infinity. So now you have to leave one block and see from here. If you see here, okay, same network we can see series and shunt, similarly series and shunt with the same values. Okay, so this also I can call it as Z equivalent. If I remove infinity from, okay, one block, if I remove from the infinity, it will be again infinity only. So when I redraw the circuit, I will get, okay, this one and this one, I will replace it with Z equivalent. Okay, so what is the value of this one? 5J, then we have got minus J, and here it is 9J, and here it is Z equivalent. Okay, so now before going into anything to solve the reduce the network, see if the inductor and capacitor values are in ohmic value or not. So if they are not in ohmic value, if they are in Henry and Farad, then convert it into ohmic value, then start solving the problem. Okay, it will be easier. So this is in series. Okay, so 5J and minus J, that is 4J. Okay, so this then it will be Z equivalent equal to, this will be in series with, okay, so I will write it here. So Z equivalent equal to 9J will be in series when you simplify this in parallel. Okay, 4J will be parallel with Z equivalent. So I will write it directly, 4J plus Z equivalent. Okay, so now instead of reducing this one, we have got the options 12J, minus 12J, 13J and 13. So it is easier to put the value of the Z equivalent directly in the LHS and see if it the RHS also we will get the same value or not. Okay, instead of solving this complex network, okay, it is easy, but some of the steps will be lengthier. Okay, so we will put the option in this one. So it is 12J. On the LHS we have got 9J plus 4J into 12J upon 12 plus 4 is 16. So this Z cancels, this 4, 3 plus 9 is 12. So 12J equals to 12J. So our option is 12J. So that is option A. So you can check with others also, you will not get the same answers. Okay, so this is how you will solve this network. So there are many options to solve one network, and this was asked in GATE 2018 electrical branch. So instead of, if when you have such type, you can directly use the options to put it. Okay, so that you can compare LHS and RHS. If they are equal, then that will be your option and the answer. Okay, so coming to the 8th question, we have got in the given network, they have given us the value of all the 3 voltages, but we have to find the phasor current I. So now this, if you observe this, we can solve this by using nodal analysis. This I can take it as a reference node. Okay, so and this is, now here this is also one node only, because they have got same potential, no elements in these 2 branches, okay, between them. So now you have got one source here, but this is not, this is ideal source, okay, but it is not a super node concept, right. So now this is ideal source, whatever voltage is here, so this will become minus, this will become plus, okay, since it is grounded. Okay, so this plus V3 is the node voltage of this whole node. Okay, so this is reference node. Now if I apply nodal analysis here, then what I will get? V3. So this I have to assume to be at higher potential. So the current will be going in this direction, and we have got incoming current already. So we not need to denote this with any direction of the current. So this is outgoing. So this will be V3 minus V1, because after the sign we have to take, if we are going in this way, this is the next sign we will get, upon minus J, then plus V3 minus V2 upon plus J, then we have got incoming current I. So now this minus j, if I take up minus sign, then it will be minus V3 plus V1 plus V3 minus V2, and denominator will be same, that is j. So equal to I. Now substitute the value of that whatever they have given. So it will be my V3 value, what we have, 100 angle 120 degree plus 100 angle V1 we have got 100 angle 0, again V3 plus we have got, okay, so here it will get cancelled, okay, so directly V1 minus V2, so V1 is 100, 0, then minus V2 is 100 minus 120 degree upon j equal to 1 degree. So now this, how we can write it? So this can be written as minus 100, okay, cos 120 degree and minus j sin 120 degrees, and this is upon j equal to I. Okay, so this is anything which is like this can be split into cos term and sin term. Okay, so now if you put it in the calci, almost you will get 100 minus 50 minus j 86.86, this is upon j equal to I. So when you solve this one, you will get, okay, take the magnitude of this, and I you will get it as 173 minus 60 degree. Okay, so this virtual calci will be having the values there. Okay, so you can directly put it. Okay, basically if the scientific calculator was allowed, here only we would get the answer. Okay, so the answer for this one is 173.2 minus 60 degree angle. Okay, so you can check it once with your virtual calci also. So coming to the next problem, we have to find the value of IL. So how do we find the value of IL? We cannot directly apply KCL because we do not know the angle of these amplitudes. With the amplitudes we do not know what are the angles, but we know I1, we know I3, okay, we know this one. So how we can write? If we want to calculate the magnitude of I1, then it is the square root of IL square plus, if we will take this current as IR, okay, so that will be IR minus, if this is IC or I3 only, we can take it, okay, whole square. So now we know the value of I1, we know the value of IC, but we have to calculate these two. Okay, so for calculation of that IR, I will redraw the circuit here. Okay, then we have got C, this is R, this is IR, and what is the current flowing here? 4 ampere, that is IC, and from this branch we have got 5 ampere. So now this I can write it as 5 square, so root will get cancelled, we have got IR square plus 16. So 25 minus 16 is 9, that is IR square, and the value of IR is equal to 3 amperes. Okay, so substitute in this one, you will get, okay, I will take a different color pen. Okay, so I1 we know what is it, 5 square. Okay, so I removed the root taking the square, so we need to find what is IL square. So IR minus IC, 3 minus 4, that is 1 ampere. Okay, so 16 we have got IL square is equal to 25 minus 1. Okay, sorry, so this is here, it will be IR square minus, okay, sorry, real means this is imaginary, okay, L minus C. Okay, now we have got the value of IR, sorry, we will redo it again. So this is 5 square, so we have got the value of IR as 9, so this root will get cancelled with, because we have already squared the term, plus we do not know what is IL, okay, but what is IC, we know it as 4 whole square. Okay, so this is 25 minus 9 is 16, so IL square plus 16 minus 2 times of, that is 8 IL. Okay, so when you solve this one, you will get plus or minus 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 minus 2 is 16, 16 minus 2 is 8, 8 minus 2 is 16, 16 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 minus Okay, yes. So either it can be plus 4 with the plus and minus 4. So if it is plus, then you will get 8 amperes. If it is minus, you will get 0 amperes. So this IL current it can be only 0 when the voltage across this will be 0 or frequency will be infinity. But in this case we have got some finite frequency as well as we have got finite voltage. So they are not equal, hence we will get finite value of the inductor current, that is 8 amperes. Okay, so we will take one more problem. Okay, coming to this 10th problem. Okay, so we have to find the amplitude of V2 upon V1. So now in this question you can solve this, find out this root by using minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Using that formula you can find out the values of these two roots. So then you will get 4 plus minus 4. Okay. So now here in this case we have to find the V2 upon V1, but check if the inductor and capacitor values are in ohmic. No. So they are in Henry and Farad. So first we will convert them into ohmic value. So XL is omega C and here omega we have got 3. So omega L. So L value is 1. So it is 3J. So here it will turn into 3J. So this one for XC it is 1 upon omega C. So 1 upon 3 into 1 upon 36. So this is 3, 1, 12, it will be minus 12J. Okay, so here where it is here. So we will write it as minus 12J. So now both of them are in the ohmic values. So now we can apply the voltage division rule to find the amplitude of the voltage V2 and V1. So first we will find the V2. So for finding V2 what we have, same resistor value we have to take and upon the sum of total ohmic value. Okay, so if we have to calculate V2, then it is 5 minus 12J upon this 4 plus 3J, then we have got minus 12J plus 5 ohm into 100 cos 3T. So now directly we will take V1, that is we have got 4 plus 3J upon 4 plus 3J minus 12J plus 5 into 100 cos 3T. So what they have asked the ratio of V2 upon V1. So we will divide it. Okay, so this gets cancelled with this. So we are left with magnitude of V2 upon magnitude of V1 equal to 5 minus 12J upon 4 plus 3J. So now take out the magnitude of this one, root of 5 square plus 12 square upon 4 square plus 3 square under root. So it is 25 plus 144, then this is 16 plus 9. So this is 13 upon 5, which comes out to be 2.6. So it does not have any unit because volt gets cancelled. Okay, so this is the answer for this question. Okay, so in the next lecture we will see few more questions based on this AC analysis. Okay, then we will switch to the resonance, where we will see that XL will be equal to XC. So that condition we will call it as resonance. So we will solve few more problems based on these concepts and then we will move on to the resonance concept. Okay, thank you.